Hello, everybody. Guess what day it is? Oh, you know, it's Tuesday. And Tuesday, Julie and I are here in this beautiful North Walpole branch of the Walpole Town Library. And so we're here, and I'm going to review some books for you because that's what we do on Tuesdays.
And we got 2 boxes of books on Monday and 1 box of books today.
Oh my goodness! So we've got plenty of new books.
Plenty of new books.
Oh, and they're this group is very excited. I'm very excited.
Oh,
about
good.
It. And I'm taking most of them. But I'll tell you, if I could just stay home and read and sit on my deck in the rocking chair and read, I would be so happy. But I'm here for you.
Thank you for making that sacrifice for us.
I know it's a sacrifice, but one I'm willing to do. So this is an exciting group we have here today.
Yes.
Oh, yes. In this beautiful, renovated.
It's cozy in here today, isn't it?
It's
because
cozy,
it's cold and windy outside, and it's nice and cozy in here. Yes.
And it's so nice to be here, you know, in this really nicely wonderful space.
Yes.
That that I truly wish everybody would come and see.
Yes, we do think people should come here and check us out.
Absolutely, because we are here.
Yes.
And we have some books.
Ooh.
So first up is French Braid by Ann Tyler. Oh my goodness, Ann Tyler.
I love her.
She's such a gem.
She is.
Is a gem. And this is a gem of a book. I have not read it yet, but it's on my list. And it's The Garretts Take Their First and Last Family Vacation in the summer of 1959. I'm not sure if that was, I think it was a good year.
Sounds like a good year.
That was the year before I went to high school.
Oh.
So yes, that summer was fun. Hopefully. And they hardly ever adventure beyond Baltimore. But in some ways, they have never been further apart. Wow. So it's a funny, joyful, brilliant, perceptive journey deep into one family's foibles from the 1950s up to our pandemic event.
Ooh.
So doesn't that sound exciting?
It does. And you know, this is the second week in a row that we have had a book that comes through the pandemic times. So definitely as we go forward.
Very, very timely.
Yes.
And isn't she pretty?
She is. And you know, no one writes about families like she does.
No, she's, I know, she's just a great writer.
She is.
So, and this is a very good book. I really liked it. Oh, and this one has my name on it.
It does. It has your name on a sticky note.
Right. So this is Ann Hillerman, whose father, Tony, wrote all about the Southwest. And she's carrying on in the tradition of her dad. But she's a brilliant writer in her own right. And this one, The Sacred Bridge, it's a Leaphorn, Joe Leaphorn, Jim Chi, and Manuelito, Jim's wife. And she's a great person, a great character. And this is The Sacred Place. An ancient mystery resurfaces with ramifications for the present day in this gripping chapter in the Leaphorn Chi Manuelito series. Wow. So Sergeant Jim Chi goes on vacation to beautiful Antelope Canyon in Lake Powell, and it has a deeper purpose.
Ooh.
He's on a quest to unravel a sacred mystery. Wow. That sounds intriguing.
It does. Now you know what I'm going to ask you. Do we have to read them in order?
No.
No. Okay.
No, they're recurring characters. There's Joe Leaphorn, who was the subject of many still is the subject of many Hillerman books. And so is Jim Chi, who's just a wonderful little guy. Well, not little, he's a big guy. He's 6 feet, but he just sounds like such a... I mean, these characters have such a fresh take on life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's because they're native, and so their surroundings, they're like characters. So and to delve into these mysteries, you learn a lot about the culture, the territory, and it's always really, really interesting. And Manuelito, her mom, she's very close to her mom and her sister, and you learn about them also. So it's like a family that you revisit book after book after book.
Oh, I like that.
And that's really, really...
Well, and you know, Jane, our director, was talking earlier, because this book came straight from that box yesterday to your little hands. And we were talking about how Anne Hillerman is, one, a woman writing about Native Americans, which doesn't happen as much.
That's true.
And it also is I don't want to say representative, but a true, she tells it like it is, you know, because she is Native American.
So so this is really, really good. And yes, and her father, who started this whole series, I mean, she just goes, Tony Hillerman was her father, well, he died. But she continues his tradition of writing. And so each one that she's written, I think, is just as good as her dad's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a good one. And it has my name on it. So I'm going to take it home, read it. And then, so we don't have a time limit, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, good. Because sometimes I go on and on and on.
And we love when you go on and on and on.
And so this, another of my favorite authors is the Baldacci guy.
Yes.
And this is an Archer novel, which is one of his characters. No, you don't have to read them in order.
Thank you.
So each one is you know, on its own. So, and this, isn't he a handsome guy?
You know, he is a handsome guy.
He's a handsome guy. Wonder if he must be.
We'll find out and get back to you.
Right. So, private investigator and World War II veteran, Aloysius Archer.
What kind of name? I love it.
Aloysius. Now, that's straight from Ireland. He heads to Los Angeles, the city where dreams are made and shattered, and is ensnared in a lethal case in this new thriller. In David Baldacci's #1 New York Times bestselling and Nero award-winning Archer series. Oh my goodness. So
I think that's your detective voice.
I think so too. So it's the eve of 1953, and Aloysius Archer is in Los Angeles to ring in the new year with an old friend, aspiring actress, Liberty Callahan.
Ooh.
Wow. So, okay. Oh, there's a series of increasingly chilling events, mysterious phone calls, the same blue car loitering outside the house.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, is this good? This happens to be a large print. But I'm sure you don't have to have bad eyesight to take it.
You do not. In fact, after about 2 pages, if you're reading a large print book, you don't even notice.
Exactly.
But you know, it's interesting you bring that up, because we have quite a large collection of large print books.
Oh.
Not only do we have a lot of them in Walpole, but we have a lot of them in North Walpole. So between the two libraries, we have quite a big collection of large print books.
Yes. Good to know.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, as we get older.
Not that we ever do, but sometimes people do.
Right, and sometimes a large print it comes in handy.
It's easier.
especially if sometimes you have to wear glasses to large print. You don't.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but this is good as Brandy. No, I can't wait to get into it. Okay, and John Sanford. Okay, so John Sanford's daughter Letty. This is her book.
So that's why it says on the cover a Letty Davenport
Davenport
novel?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yes. So Letty has grown up. She was an adopted child.
This is in real life? Or in the book?
This is in the book.
In the book, okay.
But, yeah, because her dad and mom, Weather, the physician, they had one child, but Letty came into their lives as almost a teenager. And they took her in, and now she's 24. And she has seen more action and uncovered more secrets than many law enforcement professionals. Now she is restless and bored in a desk job for a U.S. senator. But just as she's ready to quit, she is offered a task she can't refuse.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound exciting?
That almost sounds like a sneak peek Saturday book.
I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good idea. So, and John Sanford is just, he's prolific writer. He's got that whole Prey series going with Lucas, and so Letty, the adopted daughter,
gets her own now.
Gets her own, and so
I like this.
I know it's such a nice transition from the same old that that Lucas gets into, and poor Weather, his house, his wife. I mean, she's busy, setting bones, and she's a doctor. But Letty is like a character all of her own, and I think this is an exciting path.
Yes. So many authors are doing this now. He's doing it. Archer Mayer, I hear, is going to be bringing in a new main character. Janet Ivanovich, new main character.
Right.
This is exciting.
It's like it's like you discover these great writers all over again. So I'm anxious to get into this book because it features Letty, who's quite a character by herself. So and look at that, pretty. I love blue and yellow.
I do love blue and yellow together.
I do too. They blend itself.
Yes.
Okay, so my oldie but goodie. Oh my God. So Daniel James Brown, who also wrote The Boys in the Boat,
which you so lovingly reviewed.
I love that book. I try to reread it at least once a year. And this one is about a true story of Japanese American heroes in World War II. And a lot of people I think most people know now that the Japanese Americans that were treated shabbily because of the fear-mongering, and some of the American Japanese people or Japanese people lived in America, and some were American citizens, born and raised. They were put into a ghetto, like Hitler tried to do with Jewish people, and the fear was uncalled for. Because these young men, especially the young men who volunteered, they were very heroic and very truly American, and they had something to prove, and they did it.
Yeah.
And this is a story, a litany of good people, and they come alive in this book.
And this is a true story, correct?
Yes, it's a true story, and it's just like The Boys in the Boat. The way he does this, the way he writes, you get right into their character, and you feel like you know them. And isn't that what you want in a book?
That is. That is. And I think that is the mark of a really good nonfiction writer.
Yes.
Because nonfiction can sometimes be, I love it. I know I'm a big fan of nonfiction, but it can sometimes be dry. And when you find writers like this and Nathaniel Philbrick, and it's like, they just draw you in, and it's amazing.
It's character driven.
Yes.
Not only story driven, it's character driven.
Yeah.
And that's how you relate to a story is
through the characters.
Through the characters.
Right.
So I read this book, and it's a gem. It really is. And if you enjoyed The Boys in the Boats, you will love this book also.
Oh, good.
So
good.
So that's my recommendations.
Ooh.
And we'll have more next week.
Yes. Those Jane was opening the boxes as I left.
Oh my goodness! So
come over here. Yes.
I'm going to run down there and
paw through the boxes, see what you can find.
Exactly. So stay tuned for Sneak Peek Saturday.
Yes.
Because one of these books, I'm going to read the first page.
Ooh,
so.
Do you know I'm reading The Maid now? That you reviewed it and you did a Sneak Peek Saturday on it. Oh, you were right. You were so right.
I'm loving
it.
There are some parts of it that I was close to tears.
Yeah.
Because the character in this book is so vulnerable.
She is.
And through no fault of her own, but she's a really good person, and she doesn't see all the slings and arrows.
Yes.
That are thrown at her. She has a job. She does it well, and I recommend that book. I love that book.
And you know what's so interesting is that, you often read the first. Well, you do on Sneak Peek Saturdays, read the first page of the book. And sometimes it whets your appetite, but I feel this first page just laid the character right out for you, and you instantly fell in love, and it just, oh, writers, how do they do it? I just don't know.
Well, but we really appreciate them.
Yes, we do.
So they need that too.
Yes. Yeah.
So until next week.
Yes. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Bye.